Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they are. They've been capped for a long time. Was never sure if it was gonna stay there. I've just never changed it. Do you think the wall pieces are the best? So let's see. Mods and subs can add quotes. I think the syntax is quote, add. If you want to add something like that. What did I say? Thought there was another hole in the middle. Yeah, it is. The command is open to subs as well as mods. It would get a little crazy if it was completely open. That's why it's not. All systems go. Made it through. I won. Is it like at Chuck E. Cheese? You spend the Stardust on. I want the thing on the top shelf. Can I have the big doll on the top shelf? So let's see. I can go ahead and add it too, but just it is not a generally available command, Doc, is why you're not able to use it. But I will accommodate. I thought there was it. I thought there was. I'm looking at the first thing you typed and the second thing you typed, and I don't know what I said, but I'm gonna hit the middle ground here. You tell me if this is right. And even though you can usually I did add it as a sub command though, so subs can use the quote commands. You can also use the add subs can also use the add movie quote, add game quote, and probably some of the add beer. Like there's commands to add drinks to the drink lists. And since nobody really knows the syntax things need to be in, I fix it later as it gets added to the text files. But there are more commands in there that you can use. Let's see. I wish it did string searches. So when you try to use drink Seidel, it doesn't take the arguments from the command line and pass them into the drink. Unfortunately, there's a fixed list of drinks, and you can't do string searches. So like even if you know that there's a Bass Ale, you can't call the Bass Ale. You'd have to know what number the Bass Ale was, and then you'd have to use the you'd have to use the beer order command with the number in the right place and the name, and yeah, you're just messing with me. Yeah, yes, got me. I'm quick to pick up a thread and roll with it though. Yeah, spaghetti was harmless. Spaghetti was totally harmless. Spaghetti didn't bother me until it just didn't end, and then it was just, and even then it was just like, just stop. That was all. There was really nothing wrong with that, because I had you know what? Under other circumstances, it would have been shut down really fast, and then everybody would have been okay with it, or someone wouldn't. But by harmless, you mean annoying as all get out, right? Harmlessly annoying as all get out, and there's a big difference. If we were playing one of my favorite games, like a story game, I would have been on that shit fast. In fact, I think someone lurking here, so mods are sometimes lurking, and they would take action sooner than I would. I can be a little too lenient sometimes. I'm also fascinated by human behavior, including deviant behavior of many sorts. It is fascinating. All human behavior is fascinating. And watching people who decide that they need to rock the boat, there's like a bunch of people in the boat, and there's one person who's like, ah, ha, 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 ah, ha, and it's just, really? I hate rubbernecking, if I'm driving and there's an accident and people are slowing down to look at the fucking accident, I can't stand that. But I get the human nature. I get that aspect of it. Sometimes you just gotta watch a train wreck. It's fascinating. Human behavior is fascinating. Sometimes amusing, and these days, by my count, really fucking disappointing. Not all of it, just enough of it that I'm collapsing under the weight of it, but... so we're getting close. Okay, and they're I don't know how many there are. How many are there? Let's try. Beer... Order... Is there a 57? I don't think we have 57. Let's see what 33 is. There is a 57. It is Seidel. You got it. Yeah. See? With proper syntax, it works. Thank you. Thank you for the beer. I keep forgetting if I saved because we keep talking about stuff that is just totally unrelated, and I wonder, hey, I'm about to move rock. Should I go save? And I'm sure if I go back in and save, I won't end up putting a wall on here. I'll just come back out and we'll start talking about stuff. And okay. So first thing is see how much that affected the terrain. Not at all or negligible. When we build a wall piece up, will we be so lucky? Best way to get it to put a wall piece where we want it. There. Alright, it cut a little bit of rock, but maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't cut it at all. Now this corridor bit is floating free. That's good. Now the wall pieces can come out. They don't even look that bad, but they can come out. And we want to leave this as an anchor for now. It may or may not stay. We want to leave it as an anchor. And put a door back on the lower corridor. And I think I'm going to try and do some continued lighting scheme. So this is the second corridor tier. It'll be red. The bottom one is white. It looks blue because we're underwater. And this, we haven't decided on a color for the third tier, but there's some third level corridor over there, and there's some third level corridor over here. Now, keeping things aligned, even if they're disconnected, I'd like to do that. It's also not so important just because if they're not connected, they'll probably never need to be connected. One of the reasons to keep these things aligned would be if they are near each other, and so you want it to look right that they're lined up. But if they're not right next to each other and they're kind of like this, then it doesn't really matter if they're unit for unit, if everything's on the grid. It doesn't matter if stuff's on the grid. But I'm still down with doing it. If we wanted to move it over the vertical space, we have a little more over here, and then we could move out. If we wanted to get out over there, we could keep shimmying off of this piece. Go out and over and up and out and over. And then it would still be on the grid, and okay, we can do that, but it doesn't really have to be on the grid. We could always go drop something up there and then just build off of that and put a portal that we swim to. Damn your air pockets. It's this extra piece above us is making the... Not removing that, we need it. Let me in! Let me into my own base, you fool! Okay, I'm sure there's some people here who are fans of country music, but I'll just throw this out there, I am not. I mean, maybe like roots stuff, older stuff, and I mean, you know, Willie's got some good songs, and anyways, not trying to have a discussion about different historical elements of country music, but most modern country music is like a dental drill on my brain. Hi, Drigtall. And what I want to ask you guys about is the existence of a song that I heard in a business here in Colorado. I was losing my mind. I was sitting in a chair in a retail establishment that was playing country music. And you know, I thought I could just grin and bear it. But by the time I was passing through the door, these are the lyrics that I was hearing. Maybe you can help place the artist or the song for me. But as I'm walking through the door, losing my mind, I hear, chew tobacco, spit. Now, there's some song lyrics for you. There's always a song. I want to know what fucking song has the lyrics, chew tobacco, spit. Because it's been stuck in my fucking head for weeks now. No, this was here in Colorado, and I am just embarrassed. Ugh. Hey, Steele Goodwin, what's happening? Too lazy to blazy. How can you be too lazy for that? Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Greetings. If only we had a way to search, but you see, this is what self-restraint is about. I might be asking you guys because I kind of want to know. I have this dark fascination with some things, but Blake Shelton. Okay, we have an answer now. Sometimes I ask these things facetiously, and I don't really want to know. You know. Sometimes I just avoid things for like years. Did somebody bring up that somebody went nuts? Somebody brought up the song called Friday that years ago everybody and their brother and their pet monkey heard and went crazy because of. I've never heard that song, ever. Like, I'm aware there's a song called Friday that people love or hate, but I've never heard it, and I'm never going to, unless someone subjects me to it. And I am somewhat careful in what I subject myself to. Sometimes. Yeah, that one. That thing. That one. So, like, some of you might have that now stuck in your head because I mentioned it. I have carefully avoided that. It can never be stuck in my head because I've never heard the damn song. Yay. The internet. But it's hard to avoid things on the internet, you know? Sorry, when you said, if only we could search this stuff out, you gotta be careful what you search for on the internet. I don't want to sit down on my Google box and start typing shit about chew tobacco, spit in. That's not going into my search history. I compartmentalize my interactions with the tubes. This is the slowest build ever. Boy, that little cube up there past the prefab is it's like a lightning build compared to this part over here. What do I want to do? But if we're not building in that little depression, then I think I kind of want the access to be somewhere over here. Or maybe a little higher, maybe somewhere like here. If we had a porthole access somewhere about here, what is it accessing? A dome, a corridor. The shape of the really gets steep here. We're not going to be able to put anything flat. But what if we floated something? How far back? We're almost out of O2. Have to break down some superoxide. Are we going for another cool room where we can see the base? Are we just trying to put a capstone on this part of the base by putting something up here? A room with a view? Are we just gonna stick a biodome like there? Be a biodome with a door and nothing else? I don't think I'd want a dome on top of a prefab because we're already, it's sloping up. You're already going up to get to it. So if you have to go up and then you just hit the prefab wall and the dome's above it, that would be kind of weird. Leave it open-ended for possible expansion. But what about this thing floating here? I guess we could redo that later. Do the walls later. We've been staring at this spot for a while. I thought we were getting somewhere. Let me see what the spacing would be if something attached to that. Ain't eating nothing. It's just my brain. Look inside the dome. You can kind of see how much rock it would eat. That's not a bad spot. I'm glad you asked. Seastar, why does it occasionally tell you you enter the ancient ruins when you enter your base? Well, if it'll actually let me get into the damn structure, that's the other reason that we cannot leave that piece here, because it breaks the door. I can't even get into the damn door. His base is classified as ancient ruins. Yeah, so when you go into structures, you'll see messages like that. I never named anything, nor was that, Pergy, maybe you can answer. The name of those ancient ruins. Is there when we were exploring the surface and you have discovered a new region. You have discovered a new region. The region that we're in, does it bear the same name as those ruins? Can't really see it. It's not like we have any waypoint marker here that's going to do us much good. Oh, Buggy says we've discovered 11 of 11 species. Obviously haven't. Never going to be able to upload them if I do find them all. We don't even know if 11's the proper number. 0 waypoints. I'm not sure this planet didn't reset. I think I discovered more than that on this planet before. A few planets have reset. When does week 3 start? The community events. Does anyone else feel a little burned that week 2 had a hard cap on it, so you couldn't farm for enough Quicksilver to catch up on things you couldn't buy from week 1? I got the helmets, and I have the gestures, and I got a few of the statues, and I was prepared to farm to buy the rest. But week 2 had a hard cap and removes itself from your journal after you've fed 100 creatures. I hope week 3 gives us the opportunity to catch up. Week 1 was so broken that I was never able to buy all the things from week 1. So now I'm behind. They don't let us catch up. They're really going to be burning people who didn't start right away or who got bugged out. You over-farmed in week 1? I was all bugged out in week 1. I could only farm in the special system. So it was a pain in the ass. It's ancient ruins already. Neat. And Parity doesn't like it. You think week 3 is not going to be any better, huh? I guess we'll see what they do. You only get the emotes. Well, the emotes are definitely worth getting. I got the helmets for posterity, I mean, because it's a thing, because shiny. But I don't really like them better. I don't like either of the new helmets better than the one I'm wearing. Which I like because of the mask tubing on the front reminds me of the masks in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Kind of a classic diver's mask. That's why I like it. You're wearing the one with the 2 antennae? Yeah, that's neat. All right, we've kind of got a view of what is going on up there. So depending on what we build up there, we're going to be able to see a little piece of it. Nice slip. Nice slip there, Doc. Does anybody think Doc did that on purpose? All right, I gotta read this out loud in case you missed it. As much as one can rag on Hello Games, and boy do they deserve ragging upon, it seems true what you said, Entropic J. They suck with it. Stuck with it. They stuck with it. Yes. Yes, I agree. They sure stuck with it, huh? I'm impressed. I've been living in this game for the past month. Yeah, it's been a long time since I had a game which instead of turning off when I wasn't playing it, I just paused or walked away from when I wasn't playing it. The only time I've been turning this game off is it's like when I'm crashing out and falling asleep at the end of the night. Otherwise, it just stays running. I might not be in the house. I might pause it and go out to do a job. But it's just the game has been living here. Those air pockets, like the other one, got little freak those. Okay, that's one of the worst. That's one of the worst air pockets in our base, and I don't know why this one exists. Something with the curve and the cave wall, but right in here, there's the killer air pocket. But when you have a corridor next to or over a hollow door underwater, apparently it creates an air pocket there too, and it can be hard to get into the hollow doors. Looking back over our meager building additions for the day. I wonder what kind of decorations might look good. Not in a room, but just outside, underwater. Any of the lights, any of the objects, just place ramps. You keep saying ramps, so what are you saying? Ramps on the hollow doors like you did up top. Yeah, I forgot. Let's try that. You said something about that hours ago. I keep breaking these doors down, so probably be temporary, but Where are they? They're under doors and ladders, access ramps. Now, as long as we're placing an access ramp, check out how they have two positions. If you've ever placed... Stop. Okay. And here, we can do it from here. If you've ever placed an access ramp, you may already know that they have two different positions they can be in. But if you've never placed an access ramp, note that they have two different positions they can be in. I think just two. I don't think you can make them flat, but they can two different angles. Still just clipped right through it. Scooped right through it. Let's try adding a second one and just see what happens. Maybe the effect that's sucking us into these air bubbles ignores. We're just clipping through stuff when that happens. Yeah, that might help. Because then if we air pocket outside the door, just like outside in the hydro farm, you have something to catch on instead of falling. Ah, yeah, thank you for bringing that up again. Good. Do it here too. And this exit and ramp may be temporary while base building, or it may be permanent, or it may turn into something else. Yes, that's so much better. So much better. And I think they look cool. They're like little landing pads. Outside, they're landing pads. In here, they're landing pads. I also get a lot of pleasure from the small things in this game, in the base building. We spend all day building the base, but then we add something like that, and that's a serious dopamine shot right there. Yeah, ramp! That feels good. No brain. A wall with the floor. A wall with the floor is another option. Because we can't build a floor piece out from the cuboid, but if we put a wall there, then we could build a floor piece out from that. Wouldn't that... Not that we're going to do it or it really matters in this case, but wouldn't that begin to offset the spacing? What sort of things mess with the spacing, the grid? If you put a wall, what space does that use? It doesn't add a little bit, it uses part of the... You have two cuboids next to each other and you add a wall between them. Technically the wall's not using any space, is it? It's using part of each cuboid space. Or you can't do that on cubes. That's an answer. A tunnel to the surface would be the most logical option. We have the secret entrance to the surface, and then we have the makeshift emergency exit tunnel. That was how we discovered this place. But Doc, I'm not sure when you got here today. You know, we do have an exit to the surface. It's over here. That's how we got in here. It's a 10-story cuboid shaft up to our secret entrance underneath the hydro farm. You've seen the hydro farm, right? Since we're spending hours underwater in this claustrophobic space, I feel like I need to keep coming out and reminding people that we do have a nice big base out here. And it's not claustrophobic at all. We're just building Rapture is tough work. That's where this began. Yo, Brad, sure has. I hope you're doing all right out there. What have you been up to? The selenium finally finished growing. I want to pick this selenium because it's on a 16-hour cycle since the 155 patch. It takes 16 hours for this stuff to grow. So we're going to pick it now so it can start growing again. And then at least mid-morning tomorrow, there'll be another harvest. Not that I'm in dire need of selenium, but yeah, we probably could. Yeah, so we probably can. Frantic sometime. Sorry, I'm weird about all that stuff. There's really no good reason for me to be weird about all that, but yeah, sometime we can. It's okay, Brad. It's okay. I mean, it could even doesn't necessarily have to be off stream. It's more just that might be better if we're not having lots of people jump in. What did we pull? 700 from each side, each harvest. At least the cuprite grows a lot faster than the selenium. That's all I wanted to grab for now. Watched Cody's lab making solid quicksilver at room temperature yesterday. Find much weird. Solid quicksilver at room temperature. What kind of the setup produced that? I have not seen Cody's lab. Not familiar. Silver and a bit of copper dust. Huh. Nice. I like being able to see stuff as we're coming in here. Definitely need to put some lights on and maybe in. Need to pick a color and put some lights on the third level corridors. Go do that. Put some lights on the third level corridors. Now that some of them are fixed, I think we know that we're keeping some of these. So on the first level, we're actually using the white ones that look blue because we're underwater. The green is a little different, so we could use green, but we've got red on the next level, and you start pointing out, we don't really want to turn this into Christmas lights. Yellow's kind of distinct. Pink would be distinct. So yellow and pink are probably our... Let's go with yellow first. Let's try yellow. Brad, I think you can. You're asking how to sub from the Twitch app. I don't see the Twitch app much anymore, so I really don't know where the buttons are. Or I would tell you. Thank you for thinking about it and wanting to resub. But whenever you do, or if you do, you don't. It's cool. I don't know where the button is though. Anybody know? First person here. You guys hear that audio pop a few seconds ago? Wondering if that's just on my end. You did? Yuck. Well, sorry. I don't know what it was. Ugly. Just looking at the colors here. Blue, red, and yellow. Might work. Looks like. I hardly see it from down here, but enough contrast. Like it. I think it'll be a good color for that third level. Now we just need more third level stuff to use it. One in the center of the curve. I've been thinking about that. First person disorientation. You can see that I did not put one in the middle of the curves yet, but I am well aware of the empty space. Maybe I tried. Maybe it does a weird angle thing. Let's look here. This is actually the ones that are here. It's like it's tilted a little bit. It could be where I'm at. Let's see. You can't tell from a distance that it's maybe. If it's slightly off, you can't really tell. Yeah, it should be all right. Don't suppose you'd let me turn on my torch game. Is it nighttime? Does it happen to be nighttime, Sean? It's not nighttime. I can't use my torch. Ooh. You know, you guys have got me addressing Sean by name. Now, I realize that's a thing that people have been doing with this game for years. But I don't think I've ever had a game where every little thing that came up, every little hiccup and gripe I had where I called out a developer by name. Probably better that we don't know the developers of all our games personally. Fix your game, Notch. Oh yeah, Minecraft back in the day. Yeah, I remember when and who introduced me to Minecraft. I never played a lot of it, but back in the, I did have it from back in the beta days when it was still at, you know, when it was still in reduced pricing before its first launch on any platform. It was a never-ending beta that you could buy into. You were in it from the alpha days, so I don't think. Yeah, I was not in the alpha days. It would have been some beta version when I first hopped on board. Yeah, I didn't get it for 6 either. You know, it was incremental, right? I think when I got it, it was 10 or 15. I don't remember the pricing, but it wasn't much. It was more than 6, and it wasn't much. They're good to their word. I mean, that account is still good. That Minecraft account, I can still log in and play that Java version. Sound pops, gamma ray burst, signaling our impending doom. We have some protection. We have some water shielding down here. Where I'm at, it's a little hard to tell how centered this is, but we're not going to see it perfect probably ever again. Always laugh at your water. Crom laughs at your four winds. How goes the underwater building? Welcome back. Misbehave. Hope you're doing all right. It's going pretty well. How goes the coalescing? So, we had built this little smokehouse earlier. We were just putting some lights on the corridor that attaches to it. I spent an inordinate amount of time over here just talking about random things. We were just chatting, but this corridor piece is just a placeholder. Though it's ugly as hell floating there. It goes. Hey, for everyone. Oh. Alright, I didn't get shotgun, but... Oh, man. It's warm in here. Grabbing a soda out of the fridge. Addict and dealer. Yeah, it's not a bad vice. Not a bad vice to have. Yeah, I don't know if that one needs to be added, but... Well, it's just floating there. You found what looks like an early Halloween creature? Truly fabulous. Did you snap some pictures? Like to see? What if, for some unspecified reason, we extend that corridor back? Kind of like we have this corridor on top of another one. What if we extend the level 3 corridor back this way? Why? Why would we do that? I don't know. I don't know. Why would we do that? So the whole quote system, I don't go through it and remove things. Rarely do I ever tweak anything if something needed. Oh! I thought it said all the crew blacked out. I misread. Some of the crew blacked out. Most of the crew blacked out. Well, cheers to the two of you who didn't. I'm gonna spend the rest of the night staring at this space. I don't mean to stream. I mean, I will spend my Saturday night staring at this space. I have a feeling. Ha. The infinite monkey theorem. Is that the, if you gave an infinite amount of monkeys, infinite amount of time, is that the typewriter deal? Is that the infinite monkey theorem? Up with Shakespeare? Or... Yeah. Okay, it's that. Yes. I'm familiar. I'm not sure that's a justification for adding kind of flat quotes. Like some of the things that come up already in the system, they come up and I go, oh. And I go, maybe I'll sneak in there one day when no one's looking and remove that quote. I don't do that though, but I do kind of stumble internally a little sometimes. So the third level corridor is yellow, but now I want more of it because I can barely see it. There's yellow over here. That's cool. That's good. But that's the only bit of third level corridor we have right now. Put another light over here. See, I'm cool with some of those.
Commander just came in over secure channel.
Yeah, Brad. Hey, you found it. What? You must have found the button you were looking for. Thank you kindly, sir. Cheers. Many thanks for your sub support, past and present. So like that quote, I love number 64. No, I like the quotes like that. The ones I want to remove are not the cool ones. I mean, not the good ones. The ones I want to remove are like the flat ones that don't really say anything. Like the, oh, I just tied my shoe. How did that get quoted? I don't know. Fortunately, that's not in there, but you get the idea. Thank you, Brad, for sharing, and you know, it's perhaps one of life's miracles that can still work, even when that's on both sides of the camera. You know, you may not be having, you may be having a day that you need some release from, escape from, some other anchor, focus, getaway, whatever. Many of you know I've been just a scrambled mess lately. Well, it's sort of amazing that it can still work when I don't know, can you read my mind? Because I'm having a hard time finding the words. I can be having a bad, broken day, and apparently it can still have a positive effect. Can my fucked up state of mind really yield something that isn't just more of a mess? I don't know. It does sometimes seem that way, and it's how does that work? That didn't come out right at all. None of that really came out right. Oh, did I mention that the bot also has fortune cookies? You say, all is not so bad, that is not good for nothing. And the bot says, they that can't endure the bad will not live to see the good. Bot, you are so fucking on point, you scare me. Damn it, bot, why do you have to be like that? Bot, couldn't you just have said something snappy and funny? Why you gotta be all existential like that? Oh my god. If not being depressed means adopting the standard worldview, then I would rather be depressed, Captain says. There's some heavy weight in those words. I where you're coming from. Yeah, we could quickly turn this into another psych session. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Ah, Brad. I wish I could fix stuff like that manually. I know, and you know. If we could just tell Twitch so Twitch knows. I need my pain. Is that in one of the, is that in like, I didn't see Beyond. Is that one of the new ones? I don't remember that line. I need my pain. So tell me that's from a classic episode. Where's I need my pain from? Oh, 5. Okay, yeah. 5 is the only one I actually still have in SD. Only in SD. Actually, that's not true. I don't even bother to keep a copy of Nemesis. I think I deleted Nemesis. That was just horrible. 5, psych. I've heard 5 described as actually one of the most true to form Star Trek stories, like true to the characters and essence of the original series, and yet it's so bad. I think what ruined, more than anything, what kind of killed Nemesis for me was, you know, when characters just aren't themselves. When a character is written so differently from how they have come to exist that you just can't buy it. Well, I can't buy Picard. Now maybe I've forgotten context for this, but the way I remember it is he's basically like, fuck the Prime Directive, I'm taking this buggy shooting on an alien planet. And they basically just go down to the surface. I don't remember why, but I remember them, they're joyriding in a fucking buggy, blowing shit up while the aliens that, you know, Prime Directive, First Contact rules, stuff like that, they're just like, whatever, let's blow shit up, ha ha! And I thought, these are not the characters I know. I don't know who they are, but so I had to get off that. Yeah, it was the joyriding that killed it for me. We're having some weird streams with No Man's Sky. Definitely more chatty and less gameplay. That's gonna help. That ramp actually looks like it belongs. So, Brad, you said you hadn't been around a little while, and short answer is I don't know. Might be Tomb Raider. We might play Tomb Raider. but I have really been out of sorts. Living in metaphors these days and always struggling to find the words for things, but I have no idea beyond maybe Tomb Raider. No, I'm not thinking clearly much these days or about what's coming and what to get into next. Games that are coming soon that I should be excited for. I don't want to sidetrack into a impressive rant, but I'm really not. I'm not into and looking forward to and planning to play all these things that should be coming up. So if I sound a little even less committal than usual. It's been a long time since we had a month of streams planned out. We're gonna play this game and this game and then this game, and then we're gonna play these in a row, and maybe just for a change of pace at some point. You know, I've been itching to long-term itch. It's been a while since we've played some Mass Effect, but I'm not sure I'm able to get into many games right now. I'm really worried about starting games that should be good and not being in a state where I can get into them and enjoy them. I don't think I was ever going to get into Yakuza after we tried it, after I played it a couple streams. I really just was not going to connect with that one. Some of that was just the way it was going to be. I don't think I ever would have really taken to it, but man, I put that in the wrong place. Trying those beat 'em ups a few in a row. Right, one, two, three. It should be this one then. I plan to, Brad. It's just not, there's no structure and organization, and there's days here and there where I'm no function, no show. I'm sorry, we shouldn't delve into that right now. We're good, we're base building, we're chatting today. All good. Spend way too much time these days talking about how messed up I am. I feel like I'm trying to justify my state of mind. That's why I don't want to bring it up. I mean, if we just talk about games and stuff, then I don't know. We don't have to go there. Why did I make that? It's ugly as hell, and the reason I made it was just to play with possible alignments. It's not that I want this stuff here, but if we're keeping things on the grid and trying to move out in this direction, I've been planning to do for hours, but didn't really do anything with. Cuboid would cut into the rock, but not much. Make a few cubes. Let's try it. We can roll it back. Make a few cubes there and see what it looks like if we try and move further. since this was our original anchor point, I don't want to have to move the door and the ramp and remake it. We're just leaving that anchor point there for now. There's room above the cube for another cube. Where we're trying to get us up here. We go a little nutty here with glass cubes. No way all this stuff is gonna stay, but evaluate how much space we have in here. I know, it's silly. Just what's there. I didn't think of doing this before, but just by using the cubes and trying to fill the available space, it does help. I think it's going to help visualize what we might have to work with. Really? Shoot through a stack of ionized cobalt, huh? Like the water sounds. I find it very soothing, and off-stream it's incredibly meditative. I spent hours last night just staring at this stuff.
Technology recharge.
Actually. Oxygen while we're here. Break down some super oxide. Is it putting you to sleep a little bit? It is late. You've got a good excuse. You always blame it on me, but you got a good excuse. All right, Sea Star, if you're napping off. Then we should wish you a good night and sweet dreams. I don't know if that's you are definitely going to bed or you're just thinking about it, but I think going to bed. Happy rest of the weekend, everyone. The Star says. Yes, you too. Happy rest of your weekend. And thanks again. Have a good night. So, why build all these ugly, crazy cubes here right now. Just playing with the space. Actually, we're probably gonna load us. I didn't save in there accidentally, did I? We're gonna load a save to undo this in a minute. Bob unlurks to say, see ya, sea star. So, yeah, why did I make all that tetracobalt? Because I'm gonna load the save. We're just gonna have to make it again. That's silly. I was just trying to see what kind of... I don't know. Who made it? Just the two of you again. There's a team. You guys got the staying power. What about a stepped structure of some sort? Hey, before I forget that that was all temporary, let me load that save. 30 was 7 minutes ago. Okay, that's good. That's the one. The shuttle, everybody else on the shuttle minigame blacked out for the second time. Only Misbehave and Captain Frantic made it through. Pretty sure when I saved, I was on the inside, but whatever. Okay, I'm glad. I didn't really want all those cubes there. I was just trying to play with the space, map out the space, and... You heard what now? S7, hello. I don't think I said anything like that. Many rooms. We're just trying to wrestle with what rooms to work on next. I'm not sure how I want to, if or how I want to adorn the glass cube with more lights. I don't like those, but we can put lights inside it, of course. You really don't see them from outside too much. You can tell they're there, but they don't distribute much light. The glass is too tinted. That yellow really makes it colorful over here, doesn't it? Blue and red and yellow, all in your face. You can tell I'm rather twisted on this spot. Well, come Monday, I hope to have something figured out with this spot. I don't know what. I guess we could just move on to another spot. brainstorming on what's to come. End up here. Maybe nothing needs to be built up there. Maybe the corridor just goes off that way. Maybe it's not the best spot for building up there. Up here. You still say it should have a surface entry that's not submerged. Ah. Maybe. Yeah, that's not submerged, though. Not submerged. What, I'll tell you what I was thinking about along those lines. Nothing that can happen now, but I'm gonna go back to our original entry. So we drilled into this rock and down. What's to say we don't also build up a little bit? We could potentially build inside this rock. And if we built inside this rock, let's say we had a little tower of prefabs in here. I don't know. Maybe there's no reason to do that. But if we built inside the rock, then it might make more sense to have another exit. So now this level, we're still in the water. We go up a cube or two and we're out of the water. It's too abstract for me to really think about, but if we somehow built inside the rock, then maybe we could give it an exit on the back of the rock, or something that goes up to the plateau. Somehow enter through the top of the rock and drop all the way down. But it would lose some secrecy, wouldn't it? I mean, the secrecy is kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's not that hidden. It's right here. But if we just make an open door on the outside that leads into the network, I don't know. Secret. Is it safe? When the Lord of the Rings films, the Peter Jackson movies came out, the way I heard in my head all the lines, the various lines of dialogue from the books, was via the BBC radio adaptation. If you like radio plays, radio productions, radio dramas, and if you like Lord of the Rings and you haven't heard the Lord of the Rings, the BBC radio drama, it's like 13 hours long. Really good. Good. And I think it'd be Ian Holm played Bilbo, right? In the movies. He did the voice of Frodo in that production. It had some familiar voices in it, and it's really good. But a lot of the ways the lines are spoken have long been burned in my head the way they're spoken in that radio drama. And when the Jackson films came out, I stumbled on some of those lines, even those. Is it secret? Is it safe? That's not how I say it. There you go. Doc's got you all covered. Archive.org. There's some cool musical cues in it too. Decent sound effects. And of course it's overacted because it's a radio drama. You have to. Oh boy, yeah, I'm gonna leave this for now and we'll just sleep on it. I'm gonna pull this piece. We can always remake it. It's gonna bug me if it stays there. Yeah, hey guys, I'm going in circles. I'm pretty faded. I think we're winding down for the night. I'm not really gonna make any more stuff happen here right now. Gotta make some food happen before my brain can do anything. What are you guys doing for the rest of your weekend? What's everybody up to? Sunday incoming. BBC license funding. You gave up TV 20 years ago because of that. I gave up on TV for 10 plus years. In 05, I gave up on TV. Although I don't know what I can say about that now with just... I mean, I watch more shows now than I did last time I had TV in 05. I just pick and choose and get them a la carte and wherever. Bob, enjoying the weather? Lazy Blazy got a nap planned? Got a lap planned. Nap planned. Did I say lap planned? More sleep. More sleep. You know, I don't do a lot of the... I'm not really following a lot of the comic properties, and I haven't seen any of the... almost none of the comic films in recent years. Doesn't matter which camp it's in. But I have been checking out Legion lately, and I got to admit, I don't understand any of the context. I don't know if the characters in Legion, I don't know what... All I know is that show is... If you had told me David Lynch was involved in the project, I would have believed you. It's that weird, and it's really pretty cool. I can't even follow it. It doesn't even make sense half the time. It doesn't matter. It's this really trippy, wild ride. I mean, it's creative as all get out. They have some... I don't even know how to describe it. It doesn't... 80% of the time, it doesn't play like a comic franchise. It plays like a psycho, a psychodrama with like a David Lynch psychodrama. I don't know. It's really trippy, and they have like musical numbers that come out of nowhere and just do really strange things. I don't usually go in for musical numbers in shows, but anyways, I encourage people to check it out. It's different. Different is good. Yeah, it's a lot about mental illness. For a comic franchise, kind of, it's all about mental illness, and then it just has this. Oh well, I'll stop. It's good enough. How Moonlighting did a la carte musical numbers back in the day. That goes back. Hey, I think we're gonna wrap here. We wrap here. S7, haven't watched in 7 years. Not bad. Not bad. Part of me feels like I wanted to take that 10 and build on it with another 10, but There's stuff I wanted to see. No. Stuff I wanted to see. Breaking Bad happened, and there's stuff. Mr. Robot was really good the first season. And then I don't know that. I think Mr. Robot should have just been one season and done. Because that was kind of brilliant first season. Does it count? Nah. Nah, just because it's called Twitch TV? Nah. TV's that garbage out there. Kill your TV, man. I will bid you all good night. Thank you for the great company, as always. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. Thank you for the sub support, for the host love. Thank you for being awesome. Chatters, lurkers, lovers all. I'll see you guys on the other side. Good night. Cheers.